Hello everyone, welcome to Red Dragon Model Works. I'm working on this guy back there, in between my ad over here. And I'm working on these guns. And the more I look at them, the more I don't like them. So I'm going to redo them. So what I bought, I got a couple of different gauges of piping here. So if you stick around, I'll show you what I'm doing. Right. Alright, as you can see, I've been marking them off. So I got this little pipe cutter from K&S. I've got another one that's cast, but it's too heavy. So instead of busting out that one, I'll get this one. So what I'm doing now is I'm just cutting these lengths down to where I want them. I don't like the plasticky feel of those. So not only that, they're not long enough. I went online and I saw a whole bunch of different reference pictures, and I don't like the way they came out. So, oh, dropped it. I'm forever dropping stuff. So, all right. So what I've done is I'll have to, here, I got one of these opened already. See, that'll sit inside there like so, and you see that, you'll see the difference. It's a little longer. See? Anyway, so what I'm doing at the moment is I am just cutting them down to try to get the length that I want. So, let's get that over there. And this can be a pain in the rear end here. Here, let me get my drugstores on. I'd like to thank everybody for their comments on those explosive effects. I got one. I was working with that hot glue, and I got a comment. I believe it was from the Mad Modeler, you know, about hot glue. Now I've used it and I liked it. The only problem with the hot glue is that it dries too fast. It cools too fast, and it doesn't let you, you can't work with it, you know, to pull it. You got to be fast with it. So I'm going to try it one more time and see. But, my wife and my dog over there, you could hear her. So what I'm doing here, as you can see, is I'm just cutting a couple of pieces to length, the length that I want them. And then I'll put them all together. I still got to make a flash suppressor for the end of the plasma cannon. I'm also going to, and as soon as I get done with this, I'll show you guys. I like redoing the guns a lot. You know, saves me a few dollars here and there from doing photo etch. I mean, nothing wrong with photo etch. It's just I don't have $30 for a gun for photo etch. So, and I don't think you can find photo etch cannons for this. You know, so, you know, a couple of dollars here. I think I spent, I'll show you guys in a second. You can get this at any local hobby store. But I think this was $1.50 for this one. This one was, yeah, they're all $1.50. So for $4.50, I can build a couple of sets of guns. Alright guys, you see I got that. And then here's the other part. I'm going to have, there, let me get my little guy here and it'll burr it out a little bit. There we go. Open that up. And the same with this side here, because you got the little end in there. Alright, and then this, yeah, I crimped it down. I'm going to have to try to figure out another way to do that. That goes right in there, if I can get it to go in there. Yeah, I'm going to have to, it's got an edge on there, so give me a second here. I'll sand that down. There's a little burr on the end there. It's keeping it from going in. Alright, here we go. Are you kidding me? Huh. Alright, I wanted to show you guys what I was doing. This is the old gun. Whoop. So I cut this off, but I'm saving the plug here. And the reason I'm saving that, and well, as you can see, I'm sanding it down. And the reason I'm saving that is to give this something to bite into when I put it in. So if you don't, and you try to just glue this, it's not going to hold. So I want to give these guns something to bite onto, so once I put the glue on that, they're not flopping around all over the place, and the slightest bump will knock them off. So what I'm doing with this, I'm just bringing it into a little taper, so it acts as a dowel rod almost. And we're almost there, just a little bit more, see? And this one doesn't have to be perfectly round, it's just got to be enough to where the gun bites on there, or the piece that I'm putting in there bites right at, there it is, right there, see? And then I can maneuver it any way I want. Alright. Alright, brothers, a quick update before I start working on my AT-AT. Just showed you a little bit how I was working on those guns. I redid them. They were too short, and they just looked too cartoonish. So I'm not done with them yet, but I'll give you a little example of what they look like now. What do you guys think? They're a little longer. I wanted them just a slightly bit longer and to sit up a little higher. So now they actually look like some damn cannons, huh? What do you think about that? Now I'm going to add back here, there should be some greeblies in there, some cables and some wires and stuff. And all alongside here in this trench, there should be some stuff in there too. Not back here, but right up in here. So I'm going to do that. As you see, I've already added that in there. And then right up in here, I added a couple. And I'm going to still add some more. So, but it's going to look nice when it's done. Alright, let me get this, start weathering this AT-AT, and I'll show you guys what I'm doing there. Be right back. Alright, brothers. It's been a long night. It's about maybe 4 or 5 in the morning. Sun's coming up. I'm shooting back and forth between the Cylon Raider and this guy. I did some work on the guns on that Raider, as you saw in the beginning of the video. And then I started doing some weathering on this AT-AT. Now what I'm attempting to do on this AT-AT is give it some tonal changes, you know, some weathering effects with a dot matrix, you know, some paints. I think I'm on the right path. I've never done a dot matrix before, not at this scale at least. And I'm trying to add, to make it look used, you know, worn out, worn, you know, like it's been in the field for a while, before I start adding the streaking to it, you know, and then the filters and all that other stuff. Well, let me back up. I've already added a filter on it. I just wanted a subtle filter, a very subtle filter. And now what I'm doing is I'm adding some dot matrix to it to give it that worn effect. I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing here. And I'd like some feedback from you brothers. And maybe to see if I'm on the right path. It looks good to this eye here, you know, with these eyes. But ultimately, this is going to go into a... I've already... a model shop has asked me if I would put this... A hobby shop close to my home. If I would put this on display. And that makes me nervous because I've never displayed my stuff. I'm just new to this. But I showed them pictures of it and they were impressed with it. And that made me feel like I was on the right path. So I want you brothers to give me some feedback. If please, you know, leave some comments down there. Make a video, please. You know, tell me if I'm on the, you know, brothers like Panzerman, you know, people like Cohen, Norm Lejour, Hamakar Barkus, you know, you guys I respect immensely. Skelmal Liberto, Glockster 42, Storm, you brothers, I respect your work immensely. And I'm trying, you know, I see how you guys do your weathering, and I'm trying very hard to replicate what you guys do. And I'm not trying to be you guys. I'm just trying to make my models look nice, you know. And I respect your work. So I'm asking you, brothers, if you can critique this for me before I go any further. Let me switch this camera around, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. There we go. Right back. You know, there are brothers out there like Freddie, Alex, and again, I mentioned the other ones that are very good at this. I'm new at this, so I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to replicate wear and tear. I'm not an armor builder, but I would think that you could do this with armor also. What I've done is I've taken some oils, laid them out on a paper plate, you know, black, red, yellow, blue, brown, burnt umber, and then gone in and just dotted it around. You know, like I'll take a panel, dot a panel, and then streak it with some odorless mineral spirits. Go in, you know, just streak it up and down. Take whatever the excess off, and then with a dry brush, you know, just try to feather it in. Now, what I'm attempting to do here, guys, is if you look at all the pictures of these AT-ATs, like at the Battle of Hoth, they are filthy. Now, before I put any of the streaking in, and any of the dirt, the blast effects, the streaking, I was trying to weather the metal down, so to speak. They give it that look like it's been worn. It's dirty. It's got different tonal shades to it. So that's what I'm attempting to do here. Now, I guess what I'm asking my brothers out there is am I on the right path? Again, I respect you guys immensely, and I just need to know if I'm on the right path. Tell me if I'm doing something wrong. I would greatly appreciate it. You know, I showed it to Freddie, and Freddie loved it. You know, so and this is about 3 to 4 hours worth of work, maybe more. Just, you know, just here, and the other side. I still have the legs to do, the neck, the head, and its rear end, so to speak, and underneath. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it look as worn as possible without making it look like a cartoon, guys. So, yeah, I'd love your input, man. I'll be right back. So that's where I'm at, guys. I'm kind of at a crossroads. I have hundreds, believe me, almost close to 150 reference pictures of this thing here, as many as you can find. It's from the movie. I'm not a rivet counter, but I would, if I'm building a diorama and I'm going through all that trouble of trying to make it look like it's actually in some kind of a blast, you know, I'm trying to make it look, I don't know, presentable, so to speak. The same thing, I'm going to do the same thing with this guy. You know, I'm really liking the effect, but I don't know. My eyes tell me it's okay, but I'd like the input from the community to tell me if it's okay, if I'm on the right path. Because I'm going to do the same thing to that. You know, spaceships should be weathered. They should be dirty. So let me know your input, guys. You know, drop some comments down there. Make a video. You know, tell me if I'm on the right path, man. I would really appreciate it, man. Until our next update, man. It's Red Dragon saying Peace, brothers. You guys enjoy your day. Let me go find out what my dogs are barking at.